Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I have something new to show you. Now I have been pining after one of these for the longest time. Years and years I've been looking for one of these. You may already know what I'm about to say because this interior you won't have seen on the channel before, but you may also recognise it. So I have very recently, just this week, acquired a new Land Rover project, which is my all-time dream Land Rover. Some of you may already know this, that a 200 TDI Discovery has always been sort of my number one. I really wanted to get one, and it's right up there with, you know, my favourite Land Rovers. And I finally managed to get one. So this is going to be another project and I intend to do it alongside the Series 3. This one does require a fair bit of work, but I'll get more into that into the video. But yeah, I'm just currently enjoying my lunch at the moment, a nice cup of tea, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. So this is my Discovery in Carrigada Green. Now don't shoot me if I've pronounced that wrong. It's a late L reg from 1993. This is the last of the 200 TDIs. The panels are very straight, the paintwork isn't the best as you can see from the lacquer peeling in certain areas, so a respray will be in order. The underneath is pretty solid, the chassis has some slight surface rust, so it will need the same treatment as the 110 did, using my needle gun to descale and then assess further, and hopefully it'll just need a lick of paint. But we will see, I'm quite optimistic. So let's have a look inside. Now the central locking does work, however I am just using the key here as it can be a little bit temperamental. This is how the Discovery was packed, so you'll see straight away there is a brand new boot floor ready to be welded in there. Original carpets. Unfortunately I don't have the original mats as well, so I am on the lookout for those. A spare wheel cover. I'm looking for an original radio, as these Banging Beats ones are good, but I personally just prefer everything to be original in, you know, Discoveries such as these. I think there's not that many of them left to be messing around with them too much, but that's just my personal opinion, and I just want a original radio for mine, including the speakers. Everything is pretty stiff as it hasn't been used for over a year before I got it, so these vents are a little bit stiff. After filming this section I did manage to very gently free up the vents, and that piece of trim isn't missing where you can see that wiring exposed, it's just in the back. A second row of seats are hiding under there, they are just folded down. The interior needs a very small amount of work, but once those small tears are fixed I'll throw on some canvas seat covers, something like that, just to preserve them for as long as possible. So first and foremost, a good steam clean, going at a variety of different angles to try and blast everywhere. For those who may already know, you don't need me to tell you how badly these Discovery ones' bodies rot, but for those that don't know, they rot like no one's business. The chassis are usually fine as they were galvanised and powder coated from factory. Now that is a bit of information that I saw in some literature on another YouTube video going through the original Discovery launch paperwork. It does sound correct because chassis tend to be absolutely fine on these early Discoveries, but it is an old vehicle, so it's not the end of the world if they do need a patch or two, because they are nearly 30 years old, some of them now. So I will be replacing common areas on the body like sills. I think I need to do some further assessment there, but the arches, boot floor, etc., these commonly rot, and repair panels cost next to nothing these days. I'll know a lot more once I strip the interior out, but for now I know I'll have to do at least that. So a little bit more into the background of this Discovery. So right from when it was first born in 1993, it's had services every single year. I have a stack of paperwork like you've never seen before. It's actually filled an entire folder and is bulging with paperwork. I've got the original service books from Land Rover from when it was serviced at a very young age. And I've pretty much got everything up until a couple of years ago when it was just self-maintained by the previous owner. I can't really see anything wrong with it, and I have driven it and it selects gears absolutely fine. There's no like crunching in second which you sometimes get on the LT77. All the running gear seems fine. So aside from doing a a flush of all the fluids, I think it'll be okay. Maybe rebuilding the turbo, and that's probably about it for it, really. The Discovery came from the Isle of Wight and has slowly been working its way up north to me. So it's travelled quite a few places from what I know about it. I know it's been to the south of France and travelled abroad a few times, I believe. When I went to view this Discovery, I knew it hadn't started since at least a year, possibly closer to 2 years. So I checked the oil, added maybe a few 100ml of 15W40. I was careful not to overdo it, but I wanted oil just to cover all the valves and rockers and seep down, so it's not just dry metal on metal when it first started up. And the oil was pretty low, so I could just about add enough, and it was just at the right level on the dipstick then when I started it up. I decided to crank it over a few times as well before firing it up fully, just so that all the oil could move around freely, and it just makes starting up a lot easier. And then the old 200 fired straight into life with absolutely no qualms. I didn't expect any trouble from it, to be honest. So here I am at work in the workshop. Just a very quick oil and filter change to be kind and just ensure good practice more than anything, as you should always service a new to you car. Even if the previous owner has already done it, it's worth doing it yourself just to double check that everything has been done to the best standard it can be. I could have done that much more gracefully, but hey ho, that's absolutely filthy now. I can do an in-depth oil and filter change if anybody is interested, as not all the steps are shown here. This is literally just a quick video because I've been getting quite a few messages asking where a Discovery video is, because I know some of you guys are really interested in it, so I wanted to get it to you as soon as possible. Since starting my new job, I've been spinning a fair few filters, so this came in handy to get this one off in a civilised fashion. I popped the new filter on, began filling with the correct amount of oil, fired him up, checked the levels and cautiously added more as necessary, again just making sure not to overdo it. As I say, I can do an in-depth video if any of you are interested. So here I am the following day, enjoying my lunch. I purposely bring cold food in now if I can, just because I really like spending time in here. But anyway, I really hope you've enjoyed the video, and there will be plenty more to come on this Discovery, because let me tell you, there is a lot of work that's going to be involved over the next couple of months. But I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again next time.